Kiana sends a big thank you to everyone in Trinity Fellowship Church. I have a hard time with this. We received a message 46 days ago that she was in the hospital. 32 days ago, we received a message she needed a transplant, a liver transplant. Keep in mind, 32 days ago, 19 years old, a year and a half old child. We started praying. I talked to Chuck. We prayed at the other church. I know y'all prayed here. Everyone prayed for her. Now, I'm going to step ahead a little bit. As that began and things got closer, she was in and out of the hospital with severe pain. 3 days before Mother's Day, 17 days ago, she came home. She was on the liver transplant list in the state of Georgia and in the southern region. On Mother's Day, 14 days ago, this girl had to go back to the hospital on an emergency basis. 13 days ago, they moved her to UAB, and that was on a Monday, in Birmingham, Alabama, because that's where they do the transplants. 12 days ago, she was number one in the nation for a liver transplant. There was one in California. They couldn't get it to her in time. And that evening, they lost her. They brought her back. Her husband was asked to come in, tell her goodbye. He loved her because they may not get one in time. Now, during this whole time, I want you to know, I had been telling everybody that would listen, God is a God on time. But now we lost this girl. She was brought back. People were saying, what if? And I told them all, I said, what if is not part of this equation. It doesn't happen that way. Okay? People listen to me. And fortunately, at about 11 o'clock Wednesday morning, a liver became available. Now, we get off work at 6 o'clock. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, at 6 o'clock, my wife and I drive all the way to Birmingham, Alabama. And the family is texting us to find out if we're going to get there before the liver or if we're going to get there after the liver. Well, fortunately, the liver got there before us. We got there. She had the liver transplant. And this is Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Now keep in mind John 3:16, because it's important. At 3:16 Thursday morning, the doctors walked in and told us everything went perfect. It was a perfect transplant for her. It was a person about her age, about her stature. And we praised God. I want to tell you something. If you are ever around a miracle and it happens, it will change your life. And I was there. It was almost like I was there in the presence of Jesus when it happened. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, they asked us to come in the room and talk to the nurses. The nurses would explain to us what was taking place. Well, first thing she told us was that everything went fine. Now, this is 6 o'clock in the morning, and her liver was already producing bile. I mean, can you imagine that? Well, I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. Thursday, they kept her sedated all day. because if she were to come out of it, she would start thrashing. So Thursday also, a little other side note is my wife's sister had stents put in her heart in New Jersey. Well, Friday morning when we got up, we found out that her sister had had a hematoma, and so we left and headed for the airport in Atlanta. Now, that's just kind of the fact that we left, so we were not there Friday afternoon. Now, Friday afternoon, they let her come out of the sedation and kind of wake up. Now, at that point in time, she asked the nurse by hand signals for a piece of paper and a pen. Her husband is in there, and she wrote 3 words on this piece of paper. You would expect her to write, I love you, to her husband, right? That wasn't what she wrote. She wrote 3 words, handed it to her husband. Pray with me. That is remarkable. Prayer is the first thing on her mind and nothing else. Now, we came on home Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday. She sat up in a chair. Now, that's a week ago today, okay? We're talking about 1 week ago. She sat up in a chair and was eating solid foods and drinking water. Now, the following Thursday morning, I asked the nurse, I said, how long do y'all expect her to be in ICU? She said, usually 2 to 4 weeks. Now, Sunday, she's eating. Monday, she's doing so well, they take her out of ICU. Not even 1 week. 5 days, she goes out of ICU into a private room. Now, Thursday, she gets bored. With the supervision of the nurse, she gets up and cleans her own bathroom because she's bored. 1 week. 1 week after a transplant. So, can we see God working here? This girl is in God's favor. But it doesn't stop there. I was telling Pastor Chuck Friday what was going on. He doesn't know this yet. Only to come home Friday evening and find out that she has not done what they expected. She's exceeded what they expected. And she is now in a hotel room Friday night because that's what the insurance plan does. They let you stay there to get well. Now, Saturday, we got pictures of her out walking. And we're talking about walking through a trail with her family. I can't believe it. But when you're inside of a miracle, you will know it, you will feel it. And we just want to continue praying for her. This morning, I got the other news is now they expect, I don't know why they come up with these expectations. She exceeds them. They expect her to have another year of recovery. Do we think she'll have another year of recovery? No way. God is in her favor. She's in God's favor, and he has things for her to do, and we're waiting to see what's next.